All right, attention new YouTubers. If you're just starting out, this video could save your channel. I'm about to show you 5 mistakes that destroy YouTube channels every single day. Some of them stop your channel from actually getting big, and others can actually destroy your channel once it's already grown. And most creators have no idea they're even making these mistakes. Some of these might get you shadow banned, so your videos just stop getting views all of a sudden overnight. Others are so serious that they could get you permanently banned from YouTube. Or there's some mistakes that just cause the algorithm to not recommend your content. Now, I have a 1 million subscriber channel and I have other channels as well, and I've been doing YouTube for years now, and I've seen lots of subscribers make these exact mistakes, and the ones who avoid them have a much better chance of growing. So you're about to learn one of the most important things that separates successful YouTube creators from everyone else. So pay attention, because this could change everything for your channel. And also, if you appreciate me making this type of content, let me know by gently tapping that like button, and let's jump into it right now. All right, so the first one I'm gonna start off with was inspired because my own brother just recently started on YouTube about 3 months ago. Zach of All Trades is his channel name. And I was inspired to make this video because my brother watched a video similar to this, but it actually had bad advice, and he ended up enabling something that he absolutely shouldn't have. So the first mistake that people make is basically enabling or disabling things that they should or shouldn't. And in his particular case, he enabled made for education or player for education. So he saw a video, it said this was a good idea, and so he enabled player for education on his channel. And immediately his AdSense absolutely plummeted. And this setting is kind of like putting your video in jail. It severely limits your reach and monetization potential. And your video basically gets put in a restricted category, because they won't show up in regular YouTube searches the same way. Now, why is this? Because player for education basically means that your video is designed to be shown in a classroom setting. So videos that are shown in a classroom setting, of course, have to meet certain standards. So the AI is gonna analyze that video in a different way than it normally analyzes just random videos that are uploaded to YouTube. And so it's gonna scrutinize that video in a different way. So if you say something that's a little bit controversial, then it's gonna analyze that video and it's probably not gonna show it. Additionally, because of the fact that it's designed to be shown in a classroom setting, way less ads are going to show up on the video, because no one wants to watch random ads in a classroom setting, for one, and for two, advertisers are much more restricted in what type of ads they can put in front of younger people, right? So it is probably no coincidence that right after my own brother enabled player for education because he watched some random video some goofball YouTube guru put out saying he should do this, that his AdSense absolutely plummeted. So do not enable player for education unless your videos are explicitly designed to be shown in classrooms. And by the way, my brother is not the only person who has posted about this online. Many people have reported having this same exact thing happen to their channel. Oh, and another thing is when you enable player for education, it is like pulling teeth to disable it. You basically have to go into each individual video and disable it that way. Now, this one is pretty easy to fall into. A similar problem that I see that was kind of an issue a few years ago, but I think most people know not to do this now, is marking your video as made for kids. Now, the only people that should be marking their videos as made for kids are like the Coco Melons and the Blippies of the world, right? Only people that are explicitly making content where 99% of the viewers are going to be kids. If you're making content where, you know, some of the viewers might be kids or whatever, but also a lot of grownups are gonna watch it too, then do not mark it as made for kids. So an example of that would be like a Marvel movie. Everyone watches Marvel movies, whether it's kids, grownups, older people, etc. Anyone can watch a Marvel movie and enjoy it. However, something like Blue's Clues or Dora the Explorer is a made for kids type of show. And I'm not even sure what the shows are now that kids are watching, but that's what I was watching when I was a kid. So yeah, that would be an example of made for kids. So definitely do not enable that unless your content is actually made for kids. So the AI is going to analyze it in a completely different way. Advertisers are going to analyze it in a different way. And even human reviewers, by the way, for this one as well as the one I just talked about, player for education, are going to analyze the content in a different way. Now, by the way, there's a lot of other stuff outside of this. And if you want personal help asking or figuring out if your channel is shadow banned or, you know, making sure that you set your channel up in the right way, then I do have a live training at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, quick break. This Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm hosting a free live workshop called How to Get Money Quickly with AI and YouTube. At this workshop, I'll be giving away my brand new tool, Niche Validator 2.0, for free. This is a very popular tool of mine that I've updated to add more recent niche discoveries, and I've trained trained on thousands of hours of my teaching, my philosophy, my coaching sessions, etc. And I'm giving it away for this one time only at the workshop. So make sure you show up, click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. And when you're done registering, make sure to click on add this to your calendar so it'll show up in your Google, Apple, or Outlook calendar in order to get our GPT. Now you'll also be able to ask me questions live, so I look forward to meeting you. See you Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. And then the next one is marking your content as made with AI. Now, if your content is AI generated, right? There are channels out there that are making really honestly believable AI generated content. For instance, there are channels like, I think her name is Julia McCoy, where she has an AI avatar that sounds and looks pretty real. Like it's really hard to tell that it's an AI avatar. However, she does it in an ethical way. First of all, she tells people in every single video that that is her AI avatar, and she marks the content as AI generated. So if your content is AI generated, and by the way, by AI generated, I don't mean you used AI to help to write the script, or you use AI here and there if you made like a tiny little mistake in the content, maybe you use like an AI voice really quickly. I don't mean things like that. I mean, if the content was mostly AI generated, like it's an AI voice, AI avatar, etc., then mark it as AI generated, okay? Make sure that you're honest to the algorithm that it's AI generated. And by the way, there might be some people out there that disagree with me on this. They might say, oh no, you should try to trick the YouTube algorithm and not tell people that it's AI generated. And you might get away with that for a little bit. And maybe the AI you're using is good enough to fool YouTube's AI. But eventually the anti-AI AI is going to catch up with the original AI and they're gonna catch you. And then there's a very good chance that they're either gonna ban you, shadow ban you, etc. So personally, I wouldn't take the chance. So in that particular case, you do want to mark your content as made with AI. However, if it is not made with AI, then don't mark your content like that. And by the way, if this changes in the future, I will let you know. This is obviously a newer development. Nobody really knows how YouTube is going to handle this. And I would say just a general rule of thumb with these types of things is make sure that you're making quality content. If you're making quality content and it's AI generated, but people love it, then YouTube's probably going to be okay with it. But if you're making AI generated content and it's not quality, you're probably going to have a bad time down the line. And that is just generally speaking. Of course, there's exceptions, but I want you to be very careful with this. Okay, so the next thing you absolutely need to avoid doing is any way where you either buy fake subscribers or you ask for sub like people do in the comment sections, or you ask your family and friends to subscribe to you. Anything that gets a bunch of people subscribed to you that are not going to watch or interact with your content, right? Avoid doing any of that. Why? Because it sends a signal to the YouTube algorithm that your content is low quality, because all these people subscribe to you and then they never watch your content again, right? If you got fake subscribers, obviously they're never going to watch your content again. If you did sub for sub, 99% of those people are never going to watch your content again. And if you tell your family and friends to subscribe, but they're not actually interested in the content, right? They're not interested in your niche, or they're not your target demographic, then they're probably never going to watch your content again either, right? So any way where you get a bunch of people to subscribe to your channel and they're never going to watch your content again, avoid doing that.
What's happening, guys? In the editing process of this video, and I have an opportunity for a select group of people. So these are people who are serious about growing their personal brand on YouTube. So basically, we figured out recently how to grow a personal brand and combine all the upsides of a personal brand with the upsides of automation, right? Using AI, using things like this to basically grow your personal brand 10 times faster, which in the past used to take decades to do. And now you can do it significantly faster. And you can do this to get a better job. You know, we work with beginners that just want to get a better job with their personal brand. You can do this to make money as a side hustle. We work with a lot of people like that. We can do this to make more money if you already have a side hustle or a small business. Or if you're already crushing it on YouTube, we can help you crush it 10 times more. We've worked with people like that as well. I mean, I literally can show clients at each level. People that we've gotten from 0 to over 10K, 0 to like over 30K, from like 1K per month all the way up to 185K per month, from around 30K per month all the way up to over 500K per month. So literally at every single level, and it works for everyone in every situation. With that being said, we are only working with 3 to 5 people, and they have to be people who are very serious, right? People who are dedicated to making this work. So if you think you're that type of person, go ahead and apply it down in the description and the pinned comment below, and you could be part of our group of 3 to 5 that we help. So See you there. Have a good one.
And then another thing you really want to avoid is spamming your description with either too many links or too many keywords. So a lot of people will watch these videos and they'll be like, oh, if I put keywords in my description, then my video will be more likely to be recommended. And that is true to an extent. If you put a good amount of keywords in your description, but you're not doing what's known as keyword stuffing, you are more likely to be recommended, right? If you actually weave them in naturally to writing something in the description, like a description of what the video is about, etc., then that can actually help. But what a lot of people do is they'll either keyword stuff where they just put a ton of keywords and it just doesn't make any sense. It's not natural language at all, or they'll literally just copy and paste a ton of keywords and put it in the description. That can hurt your video too, and it also sends a message to the YouTube algorithm that you are just really trying to get people to go off of the platform. And the funny thing is one link where you have a clear call to action to click the link, more people will click that one link than if you have like 100 links and there's no clear call to action to click them. So you'll actually get more clicks if you just have one link. So it's way better. So there's no logical reason to do either of those things. It can only hurt your video. It's not going to help, so don't do it. And another thing you shouldn't do, this is something that YouTube is really starting to crack down on, especially in the YMYL niches, which is your money or your life, which basically means money or health related niches, is lying or over exaggerating on thumbnails. Now, this is obviously very subjective. It's not like a black and white. There's kind of a gray area here. But what we've been finding lately is putting dollar signs, for instance, on thumbnails in the make money online niche tends to get videos flagged a lot. And this is something that almost everybody used to do. They almost always used to put a lot of dollar signs on their thumbnails. But if you're not careful with doing that, it seems like the YouTube AI is really sensitive to that now. It also same with the title, putting like money or dollar signs in the title too. So that's something that YouTube could crack down on. They're starting to crack down on it more, and who knows what could happen in the future. It might happen a lot more in the near future. So yeah, if you have any more questions about this, because I know there's a lot of things that are kind of situational, they're more specific to your niche, your situation, go ahead, attend the live training down in the description in the pinned comment below, check it out. Look forward to seeing you there. And also, if you are very serious about growing your YouTube channel, I know that 99.99% of the people who watch me, I'm never gonna work closely with in my coaching program. However, I do have a coaching program, Content Growth Engine. And if you are the 0.1% or the 1% of people that's really serious about growing on YouTube, then go ahead and apply for my coaching program. It'll be down in the description and the pinned comment below as well. And this will be a clarity call session. We'll figure out where you are right now, where you want to be. We'll make a plan to get there, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together or not. Now, you'll get value out of the call, whether or not we end up working together or not, because you'll be talking to a CGE rep. So definitely check that out. And additionally, check out this video on 10 YouTube settings that you should be enabling by clicking right here.